Hello my dear students, so today we'll be discussing important questions mains level of the chapter name relations. This is a chapter of class 11th. So let's get started with the questions on this chapter relations. So the first question we have is let A is equals to 1, 2, 3 so on till 45 and R be a relation is square of on A. Which of the following is false? Now R is a relation from A to A. It's on the same set A. It's a relation from A to A and it says that it is a relation which says is square of. Is square of means if you have x, x is square of y. That means the element in the domain is square of that of the element in that of range. This is a bit of confusing question. You may interpret it wrongly also. So I'm making it very clear that is square of means x square is if you have element in the domain to be 1, then the element in the range should also be 1. If you have element in the domain to be 4, then the element in the range should be 2, because is square of means the element of the domain has to be squared 1. All right, so let's go by the options now. Now the question is which of the following is false. So if we look at option A and if you carefully look at it, now this we have 1 is square of 1, that's okay. 4 is square of 2, this is also right. 9 is square of 3. So all over here are the squares of the element which are written in the range. So this is the correct option. In the similar way, domain of R is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. According to this, domain is completely okay. And the third one is range of R is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. According to this, range is also completely okay. Now the option D is at least one is false. Now let's get back to the question once again. The question says that which of the following is false. You have to tell me which is the false statement. Since none of the A, B, C is false, they are true. So the only option we are left with option number D, which says that at least one is false, and this is also an incorrect statement because all the options are true. I hope you've got my point. So the option is option number D. Question number 2. Now let's understand what this question says. A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 and R is a relation 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2. Then R is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, both A and B. A very simple question. You have to check whether it's reflexive. For reflexive, you must have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Certainly you don't have it, so it's not. So you have 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. That what is the definition of reflexive? A should be linked to A. But for all A belonging to this relation, this set, that is capital A. Since for all the elements belonging to the set A are 1, 2, 3, 4. You must have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 in this R, but you don't have it. So therefore it is certainly not reflexive. Talking about symmetric, if you have AB, you must have BA. So 1, 2 is there, but 2, 1 is not there. Hence, this is not symmetric. Coming to the transitivity. Transitivity, what does transitivity say is that if A is linked to B, B is linked to C. Now, I want to clear one thing, that we as students sometimes feel that transitivity means A is linked to B, B is linked to C, A is linked to B, that means it belongs to R. B is linked to C and it belongs to R. Then your AC should belong to R. This is the definition of transitivity. Okay. But over here, in our thought process, we make a mistake. We feel that B cannot be equal to A or B cannot be equal to C. My dear student, that's not the case. Even this is a possibility that B may be equal to A or B may be equal to C. The possibility of two elements to be equal is also have to be taken, because nowhere over here we have said that these two can't be equal. That means A can't be equal to B or B can't be equal to C. So let's come to this case. We want to check this transitivity thing. 1 is linked to 2 and 2 is linked to 2. That means in this case B and C are equal to each other. Okay, let's say this is A, this is B. A is linked to B, B is linked to C, where in this case B is equals to C. Then you must have A should be linked to C, that is 1 comma 2, and 1 comma 2 is already there in this relation. So we will call this as transitive. Some of the students say that we have AB but we don't have BC. How can we check for transitive? But this is transitive because there is a possibility of B and C to be equal to each other. That we have to take for sure. So A is linked to B, B is linked to C, in which these two are equal. Then you must have A linked to C. So 1 is linked to 2 for sure. It's there only. So we will call this as a transitive relation. I hope you have understood my point and I have made you clear with the definition of transitivity in a nice manner. Alright, coming to question number 3. Now what is question number 3? Let R is equals to 1 3, 4 2, 2 4, 2 3 and 3 1. This is your relation on set A is equals to 1 2 3 4. Then the relation is what? Antisymmetric, transitive, not symmetric and reflexive. So first of all, let's talk about the easiest one, reflexive. For it has to be, if I want that relation to be reflexive, we must have 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4. It is certainly not reflexive. So let's cross it because I don't have 1 1, 2 2, 3 3 and 4 4. Coming about transitive. So let's see for the transitivity. If 2 is linked to 4, then is 4 linked to anything? Yes. 2 is linked to 4. That means you have A linked to B. Okay. Then your B is linked to A. But you don't have any C. Or let us assume your A is linked to B. Then what is B linked to? Nothing. Again it is coming out to be 4 2. That is for symmetric, but not for transitivity. Let's come over this. So that means you can't call it. So if you say A is linked to B, B is linked to A, you must have A linked to A according to the definition of transitivity, which is not there. So hence it is not transitive. Let's see one more example. Let's see this. 2 is linked to 3. A is linked to B. B is linked to another element C. So you must have A linked to C. That means you must have 2 1, but you don't have 2 1 anywhere over here. So even if we show that one example which is not going by the definition of transitivity, only one example is enough to prove that it is not transitive. So we have A is linked to B, 2 is linked to 3, B is linked to C, 3 is linked to 1. You must have 2 linked to 1, which is not there, hence it is not transitive also. Alright. Now there are two important things, antisymmetric and not symmetric. I am very pretty sure that you must not be clear with the definition of antisymmetric. Now what is antisymmetric? Let me first of all clarify it for you, because student relation is a very easy chapter, but student don't get into it properly and they sometimes get confused. So once your confusions are clear, you find this chapter very easy. Now what is antisymmetric? Antisymmetric means it does not mean, let me first of all write it in bold letters, not symmetric, because not symmetric and antisymmetric are two other things. Now what is the meaning of antisymmetric? If you have AB belonging to R, you must not have BA belonging to R. BA should not belong to R. I am sure you are very confused about this statement. For example, let me brief it to you. For example, you have 1 2 belonging to R. Then if the relation is antisymmetric, 2 1 should not belong to R. Now you must be thinking, then what is the difference between antisymmetric and not symmetric? I never said that something which is antisymmetric can't be symmetric. Let's, for instance, take 2 comma 2. Now if you have 2 2 belonging to R, 2 and 2 they are equal to each other. We can call them symmetric also, because A linked to B, B linked to A. We can call them antisymmetric also. So 2 2, 1 1, 3 3 are symmetric and antisymmetric both. But 1 1 2 2 3 3 is not symmetric. In the similar manner, so I hope you understood now, that if you have 4 5 belonging to R, 5 4 should not belong to R, that is antisymmetric. While antisymmetric does not mean non-symmetric. Now let's come to this. If you have 4 2, then 2 4 shouldn't have been there for this to be antisymmetric. But since you have 2 4, it is certainly not antisymmetric. Alright. Now if you have 4 2, you must have 2 4. If you have 1 3, you must have 3 1. If you have 2 3, you must have 3 2 for this to be symmetric. Okay. If you have 1 3, you must have 3 1. If you have 4 2, you must have 2 4. If you have 2 3, you must have 3 2, but which you don't have. Hence it is not symmetric, which is the correct answer for this particular question. I hope you are very clear with this concept. and this is an important concept, so you must be clear about it. All right, coming to the next question, question number 4. Now, let R be a relation from R, that is set of real numbers. R be a relation from set of real numbers to the real numbers, and it is defined that R is equals to AB belongs to R, and A minus B plus root 3 is an irrational number. Then the relation is what? An equivalence relation, a reflexive relation, transitive only, symmetric only. We have to find out, okay? So, to check for reflexive, I hope you have read this statement of that how the relation is defined. So, I'm just working on its solution now. So, in such cases, if you want to check whether the relation is reflexive or not, what is to be done? To check whether the relation is reflexive, you need to put A equal to B. And over here, our relation is defined such that, I'll write the statement again once so that you're very, very clear with it. Now, your A and B belong to a set of real numbers, and you are given that relation is defined so that A minus B plus root 3 comes out always as an, for different values of A and B, you will have A minus B plus root 3 comes as an irrational number. So that is how your relation is defined. Okay. Now we have to work on it. To check for reflexive, you must have A should be equal to B. Put A equal to B. So if you put A equal to B and this condition still holds, then your relation is reflexive. So let's put A equal to B over here. So once I put A equal to B, that means A minus A plus root 3. What you get in return is root 3, and I know it's an irrational number. Therefore, on putting A equal to B for any value of A and B, this turns out to be an irrational number, hence reflexive. Alright, so hence it is reflexive. Coming to, let's check about whether it's symmetric or not. To check whether the relation is symmetric or not, I just need one example to prove it is not symmetric. Let me frame an example, let me take an example and prove that it is not symmetric. Alright, because I have to check. What will I do in this case? I will check with few examples. I will take different values. Like for example, I take 1, 2. If I take 1, 2, 1 minus 2 plus root 3 turns out to be an irrational number. And now I will take 2, 1. If I take 2, 1, again it turns out to be a rational number. So irrational number, I'm sorry. So again it turns out to be an irrational number. So I will take different values and see is it holding. Now I need just one example to prove that it is not symmetric, and that one example I will frame. Let us check the example. Let us assume I take over here A as 1 and B as root 3. Okay, A is 1 and B as root 3. Now when I put this in A minus B plus root 3, what will happen? 1 minus root 3 plus root 3. This is not coming out to be an irrational number. That means something can be done. So let's see whether root 3, 1 is coming out to be an irrational number. Let's put root 3 and 1. So I put root 3 minus 1 plus root 3. Yes, this is coming out to be an irrational number. So what did I find? I find that for root 3 belonging to R, root 3, 1 belongs to R. But 1, root 3, that is AB is belonging to R, but BA does not belonging to R. What did I do? First of all, I found out my BA, that which is not belonging to R, and accordingly, and I checked if for this BA, AB is belonging to R or not, because I should take that AB belongs to R. For that, I should have such BA that doesn't belong to R. Only then I can call this is not symmetric. Are you getting my point? For AB belonging to R, I should not have BA belonging to R. And this AB belongs to R because I get an irrational number. But BA, for BA we don't get an irrational number, it is a rational number. 1, we are left with 1, which is a rational number. Hence it is not symmetric. Though I don't need to check any further because my answer comes over here. Since it was given, it is an equivalence relation, which is certainly not the case. Reflexive only, yes, it is reflexive only, since it is written only. So let's check for the transitivity also. We know only one of the option would be correct, so it must be reflexive only, which gives me a hint that it must not be transitive also. Alright, so let's check for the transitivity as well. So checking for the transitivity, okay, let's check for the transitivity. Now, since I am given, let me take an example. Can I see that is root 3 comma 2 √3 belonging to R? Let's check. Because I have my R, according to my relation, it has to be a minus b plus root 3 should come out as an irrational number. So let's see whether it comes out as an irrational number. Root 3 minus 2 √3 plus root 3. No, it is not coming out as an irrational number. So I'll have to frame it. Let's frame it now. So let's take, let's for instance take root 3 comma 1 belongs to R. We checked it in the when we were checking for symmetric. Alright. Now 1 comma 2 √3. Let's see whether this belongs to R or not. Now a minus b plus root 3. Let's check. 1 minus 2 √3 plus root 3. Yes. Is equals to 1 minus root 3. Yes, it belongs to R. So for a b belonging to R, alright, my BC also belongs to R. This is A and B belonging to R. My BC also belongs to R. Now, if my AC belongs to R, this is symmetric, otherwise it's not. So let's find out what AC is. AC is nothing but root 3 comma 2 √3. And I clearly saw that in this example that root 3 2 √3 doesn't belongs to R. So let's check once again so that you don't have any confusion. Root 3 minus 2 √3 plus root 3. Once you solve it, it will be 0, which is not an irrational number. Alright. Hence, for AB belongings to R, BC belongings to R, we showed that AC doesn't belongs to R, hence it is not transitive. Even if one example you get which is not true, so you will have that this is not transitive, hence it is reflexive only. It is not symmetric, it is not transitive, it is also therefore it is not equivalence. So all the three options are incorrect, whereas it is reflexive only. Alright, it was a nice question. I hope you liked it. There are many such questions. I have given you a hint of what is important. I have taken the questions, the type of questions that can be asked. I have taken each category. There are such type of questions that can also be asked. There are the questions in which the elements are given in the form of the sets like 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a set builder form, and in that elements are given the roster form, and you may be asked to find out whether it's an equivalence relation or not. So these are 2-3 categories of the questions which are certainly asked in your examination. So I'm discussing all of that. Alright, coming to the next question. Question 5. Now, R be a relation. A relation R is a set n of natural numbers be defined as xy belongings to R if and only if this is equals to 0 for all xy belonging to natural number. Now there is this relation. So it says that relation is set of natural number defined as this should be equal to 0. So when this will be equal to 0, let's find out. So I should have this is equal to 0. So let's factorize. I will have x minus 3y and x minus y. The factorization of the same is this. You can check. Okay. So this is the factorization of this. So I will have, for this to be 0, you should have x is equal to y, or x is equals to 3y, and your xy belongs to n. So are you understanding the point? Your xy belongs to n, and x should be either equal to y or x equal to 3y, because we are told that there is this relation for which this should be equal to 0, and this is 0 under two conditions: when x is equal to y and when x is equals to 3y. Alright, and xy belongs to n, a set of natural number. So x equal to y means, since set of natural number is infinite, so I'll just take few examples. Since x equal to y, that means you must have 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4. So for every x belonging to n, you will have this coming true for all the natural numbers. Alright, so therefore AA belongs to R for all A belonging to n. Yes or no? You will have AA, I mean the element 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 so on till the natural number ends, belonging to R, because you have x equal to y for all xy belonging to natural numbers. Also, you have x equal to 3y. That means if this is one kind of elements you are able to find out are this. The other kind of elements would be when you have x equal to 3 times y. X is 3 times y. That means 3 times y means if you have 1 over here, you must have 3. If you have 3 over here, you must have 27. If you have 2 over here, you must have 6. If you have 4, you must have 12. Are you getting my point? So such kind of things. So I can certainly assure you that this is not symmetric, because 3 1, then you must also have 1 3, and you will never have that, because x is equal to 3y. You have x 3 times y, you don't have y 3 times x, so certainly not symmetric. So hence I can see it's reflexive, not symmetric of course. Certainly, since it's not symmetric, it is not equivalence, and you will also find that it is not transitive, because you will have, let's just assume 3 is linked to 1, 1 is linked to 1, then you must have 1 linked to 3, which is not the case of course. Yes or no? 3 is linked to A is linked to B, B is linked to C, where in this case B and C are equal, then you must have 1 comma 3 over here, but you don't have that, because you are given that x is 3 times y, not y is 3 times x, and you will never have that. Only one example is enough to prove that it is not transitive. Hence it is not transitive also, so only reflexive is the right answer to this particular relation. I hope you are clear with it. So I have given you example of 2 questions in which you are given the sets in the form of relation in the form of set builder form, and 2 in which it is in the roster form. Alright, and 1 miscellaneous question. Now let's move to the next question, question number 6. Alright, so that's your question number 6. Let A is equals to P Q R. Which of the following is an equivalence relation in A? You have to find out which of the following is an equivalence relation. Again, not a difficult question at all. Let's check this. First of all, if you have PQR, you must have PPQQRR. You must have first of all that this is reflexive. This is not reflexive, so let's leave this option quickly. In this you have PPQQRR for sure. Let's check for symmetric. Do you have QR? Then you have RQ. You have RP. You must have PR. So it's not symmetric. So leave this option as well. Coming to R3, PPQQRR, RP PR, QR RQ. Now let's check whether this is transitive also. Alright. So PPRRQQ reflexive for sure. RPPR, yes. QRRQ. So symmetric, it's reflexive. Let's talk about whether it is transitive or not. So let me see. R is linked to P and P is linked to R, then you must have RR linked to each other. Yes, that's fine. Q is linked to R and R is linked to Q, then you must have QQ. So I can see that it's transitive also. That is because according to the transitivity, if A is linked to B, R is linked to P, and P is linked to R, that is B is linked to, again it's equal, the two are equal, then you must have AA linked, so R is linked to R. In the similar way, Q is linked to R and R is linked to R, so you must have R linked to each other. Now let's see this as well. R is linked to Q and Q is linked to Q, then you must have RQ linked to each other, which you have already. R is linked to Q, Q is linked to Q, A is linked to B, B is linked to C, then you must have AC, that is RQ. You certainly have that. So is there any element for which you have not checked the transitivity? Let's check for this also. Q is linked to R is linked to P. Now let's check it for the different elements. A is linked to B, B is linked to C, A linked to B, B linked to C, then you must have AC. That means what is AC? QP. Do you have QP over here? QP. And hence we found out that this is not transitive. Why? Because once we were checking for the same kind of the elements, it was true. Now let's check for the different one. A linked to B, that is Q linked to R, B linked to C, R is linked to P, then you must have QP, Q linked to P, and you don't have QP over here. So hence this is not transitive. So this is also not the option. Let us come to the fourth option. Reflexive, yes. Symmetric, yes. Checking for the transitivity. P is linked to Q. Q is linked to Q and PQ is there. Yes. Q is linked to P. Q is linked to P. Alright. Q is linked to P. P is linked to P. And you have QP for sure. So hence this makes it transitive. So all other examples are not transitive. This one is not reflexive. This one is not symmetric. This one is not transitive. And this one is all the three, and hence this is an equivalence relation. I hope you are clear with it. Alright. Now I want to ask you a question based on what we did. If I write that R is a relation, R5 is a relation, let's take RR as well. Let's not take QQ. Okay. And QP. So is this relation that would, I know it's not reflexive for sure. Will this relation be transitive? This is my question to you. Generally, I feel students get confused in this. Is this relation transitive? Check for sure. And think of this answer. I'm giving you 10 seconds. Think of it, whether this will be transitive or not. I hope you all must have thought of it as of now. Now let's just discuss it. It's not reflexive for sure. We're talking about just the transitivity. P is linked to Q, okay, and then you have Q is linked to P, then P should be linked to P. So one definition is this is clear with the thing of transitivity. Q is linked to P, all right. Now P is linked to Q, Q is linked to P, then you must have PP over here. That's fine, all right, all right. Now you have Q is linked to P, all right. And Q is linked to P and P is linked to Q, then you must have QQ also over here, na? Are you getting my point? Your A is linked to B and your B is linked to C, then you have A linked to B, B linked to C, then you must have QQ also belonging to R. But since your QQ is not belonging to R, it is not a transitive relation. Many books would say it's transitive, but it's a major mistake in the books. It's a major mistake in the thinking. This is, if you go about the good package or the good books, you would find that this is a transitive relation because of the reason is very, very clear with it. Okay, so don't get confused with what books are writing. Sometimes the books also may be wrong. So this is certainly a transitive relation. I hope I've tried to give you clarity upon, through these questions, I've tried to give you the clarity about the chapter, the confusing point in which students really get confused. So I hope you are very, very clear with it. So coming to the last and the final question of this session, that is question number 7. Let A and B have 4 and 2 elements. Now, what kind of questions are being asked from the relation? I've already told you. One in which you have sets in the roster form, in another you have set builder form, and the third category is in which you will have a little bit of use of permutation and combination, like finding out the number of the subsets and stuff. So let A and B have 4 and 2 elements respectively. Find the total number of subsets of A cross B having at least 3 elements. First of all, how many elements would be there in A cross B? Since A has 4 and B has 2, 4 into 2 gives you 8 elements. So find the total number of subsets of A cross B having at least 3 elements. What is the meaning of having at least 3 elements? Since you have a set of 8 elements, to have at least 3 elements, you have to choose from those 8 elements. They can be, for example, you are taking A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I till I. So to choose from those, you may choose A, B, C, you may choose B, C, D. Any 3 elements can be chosen. So it can be chosen from 8 elements, it can be chosen in how many ways? 8C 3 ways. The 3 elements. Or you can, since it is at least 3 elements, so minimum of 3 elements have to be chosen. They can be 4 also, they can be 5 also, till 8 you can choose. So either 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So therefore you will have this as your answer to this particular question, because you can either choose 3 elements or 4 elements or 5 elements, 6, 7 or 8, depending upon, because they are telling you that the total number of subsets of A cross B having at least, that means minimum 3 elements have to be taken. Okay, that is for sure. It can be even more than that. Alright, there is another way of doing it. Total number of the subsets minus subset having just 1 element, minus the subset having just 2 elements, and minus the subset having just 3 elements. That is, total number of subsets would be 2 per 8 minus, in how many ways you can form the subsets having 0 elements. Similarly this and similarly this. This is also the way. The 2 will give the same answer either this way or this way. So this is the first method and this is the second method. Alright, I hope you're really clear with the questions we have discussed so far, and I really wish that you enjoy the session. Thank you so much.